Hey everybody, let me pull up here. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Stephan from IELLO and GAMA.
All right, so we are actually here. This is the second day of GAMA. It's kind of, it almost feels like the first full day.
Yeah.
Monday's kind of a build-in day.
Yesterday was practice round.
Yeah, well, GAMA is actually a week-long conference, but they structure it as a week-long conference because that way, like if you're a retailer, the biggest part of the retail is the weekend.
Yes.
So you don't miss any weekends coming to this convention.
Exactly.
So a store owner can say, Bob, you watch the shop. I'm going to come here, and they don't even have to come from Monday to Friday. They could come like Monday through Wednesday, or the retail sessions are mostly Tuesday through Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Right.
And the actual exhibit hall in itself is only open 2 afternoons, on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon, because most of the show is actually a lot of workshop and seminars and presentation from the publisher and teaching section from experts in the industry to share their knowledge amongst the members of the association.
Right. If you were, we say this a lot, but a lot of people watch us are like, oh, I'm so jealous. It's not really anything to be jealous of. If you're like wanting to play games, go to a convention that plays games.
Yes.
If you came here, you'd be like, why are these people all sitting around talking? Because it's a lot of business being done.
It's a lot of business indeed, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so but you're not just the president of GAMA, you're also the president of IELLO Games.
Yes.
You got some new games coming out. I saw the Cherry.
Well, so yeah, we're gonna shoot a little demonstration of the Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossom every 10 days. We call it Cherry Tree. So it's a set collection game with you are trying to build sets of flowers, either sets or the most of each category, and you have ways to interact with other people's collection. And then another game that we are showing is our Origins release. It's called Reds. It's
That's RAIDS.
Thank you for translating for me. And it's a Viking game. It's a race where the last player always goes first, and also the biggest aspect of the game, it's a backstabbing game. So there is lots of
I do like
I
that.
know you like those. So many of the interactions like, no, you are not going to do that. I said, yes, I have to do it, and kind of thing. So it's not for everybody, but really work well, and in the typical IELLO tradition, the artworks are pretty nice.
Now, how old is IELLO at this point?
Well, so IELLO was founded in 2004, if I remember correctly. So that's
Wow,
a bunch of years. I mean, in USA we incorporated in 2012. So the IELLO line came in 2012 in the States.
I remember the very first IELLO booth I saw at Origins. There was wasn't there like a Christmas tree game or a Christmas present game? Maybe not, but there was King of Tokyo.
Yeah,
that was the game
King of
that
Tokyo,
made it
that was
big.
Dwarf King, and
And they were sitting on piles of King of
yes,
Tokyo.
Yeah, that was
They even
it.
brought Richard Garfield into Gen Con.
Yeah, at Gen
and
Con,
you had like a corner.
Yeah, because we incorporated so late that we didn't have time to get a proper booth. So I reached out to my friend Eric at Japanime and said, hey, can you help me? He said, sure, I have a 20 by 20. You can have a little corner of it. I said, sure. By the way, I'm bringing Richard Garfield. He said, oh, that's cool. And so Richard was such a trooper. He was on the little table. There was a huge line of people, and he was signing all day long. And
it was really
great.
And that corner was super crowded.
Yeah, that was
because everyone came by because it's Richard Garfield.
There was good memories. I can't believe it was 5 years ago already, and it seems like yesterday. But
yeah, well, so King of Tokyo is one of the few games that has consistently done well. By the way, folks, if you have questions, go ahead and ask some. But it's done consistently well, and then we saw a follow-up. We saw a couple expansions, then we saw the follow-up, King of New York, then we saw the second edition.
Yeah.
And now we saw some monster packs. We saw the Cthulhu.
Yep.
That came out
last year.
Last year, and then near the end of the year, or
yeah, near the end. No, the year before, and the Christmas before, I think, and then King Kong came middle of the year.
So how do you feel about these monster packs? Might we see more of them?
Oh yes, definitely. The R&D in France is working on more of those. I personally really like them. I think the packaging is attractive. The price point is good with a $10 retail. Each of the monster pack introduces a little twist in the game, so it's a little variation. So those are interesting.
Hang on, I'm popping out the chat. Still no questions. Folks, don't forget, if you have any questions for me, you can ask about GAMA or IELLO or about this marvelous yellow shirt, or his hair, or why is he so tired? Because this whole thing is busy. This is, jumping back to the GAMA, this is a new thing here. We're running a convention in Reno.
That is the first time we moved
So
to Reno.
what made you pick Reno of all the cities?
Well, so we traditionally we used to run the GAMA Trade Show in Las Vegas at the Bally's, and we outgrew the place really. The exhibit hall in there was too small. The programming every year we have more workshops and seminars, so we need more room, and we had maxed out all the rooms. And also, as a member of the board, I was really sad that because the facility was so small, the big sponsor, namely Asmodee, Pokemon, Yellow, etc., were grabbing all the sponsorship opportunities, and there was nothing left for the smaller guys. And so GAMA is a very inclusive association, and we want to give everybody a chance to be able to publicize and promote their product. So John Ward, our executive director, started looking for another location in Vegas, because that's where we were. The challenge we got into is either we are finding a place with a bigger exhibit hall, but no seminar, or not enough seminar room for our workshop, or we would find a place with a lot of seminar room, but not a room big enough to hold the show. So our model is very unique. And the city of Reno heard that we were looking for a place, and they reached out to us. And they flew John, and he visited several options in the city. And he, after seeing the paper mill, he thought that there was some very interesting features in that building, and brought back some of the board members the year after. And we have now a contract for the next 3 years, I think, with the paper mill. There was big question about, will the retailer follow us, move to Reno? That's challenging. It's a different place. It's obviously not the same appeal as fancy, shiny Las Vegas, but we believe that there was enough interesting content and learning material in the show for the retailer and the publisher to follow us. And looking at so far what's happened since yesterday, that was a good bet, and so it's doing very well.
It's definitely one of the nicest hotels I've ever been in.
Okay.
It's new. You can tell it's new.
Yeah.
And the staff is great. The rooms are fantastic. The internet speed is fast. I've never seen a hotel that had this fast internet speed. The food here is really well done, and it seems like it's open at all hours, which is kind of a neat thing for a convention.
Not everything, but there are some. Yeah, there are
right.
some.
But I mean, it's never like a dead hotel.
No. Yeah, that's true.
And most importantly, the GAMA Trade Show's in one location.
Yes.
In the past, it was split, and we had to walk through the casino. There's still a casino here. People want to gamble or whatever.
Yeah.
But now there's this thing going on.
It's much closer, and it's easier to get from one area to the other. Another aspect I really love is because everything is located in the same part of the building. I kept bumping in people I know, and so it's much more like we have a bigger presence. And also, like, there are signs all over the place with welcome GAMA, and
they were at the airport,
on the shuttle of the hotel. So we really feel like we're home. So
that's a pretty cool thing across the board.
You have some questions?
Yeah, let's see. What's GAMA's plans for growing Origins?
Well, so one of the plans right now. We still in Columbus. We still have room in the exhibit hall, in the exhibit center. We are changing a little bit the configuration of the exhibit hall. Traditionally, there was the right side, I would say, was the exhibit hall itself, which was opening and closing at certain hour, and the left side, I would say, was open gaming, and that's where we're running all the Yellow League and all those things. And this year we have shifted the exhibit hall in the middle and split the gaming area on both sides. It's allowing us to have more exhibitors because we were starting to run out of space in the existing exhibit hall, and also by reconfiguring we have room for the True Dungeon and things like that. So that's growing still.
It's funny because when you talk to the GAMA people about Origins, they're like, we need to finish GAMA first, the trade show.
Yes.
Because there's 2 big shows a year. Now GAMA is not just the GAMA Trade Show and Origins. That's what we think a lot of times.
That's right. Yeah.
What else is it?
Well, so GAMA, as the name indicates, is the Game Manufacturer Association, and the goal of the association is to promote the game industry at large, but also help manufacturer and their partner, namely the three tiered, so manufacturer, distributors, and retailer, to be more successful in selling games. And so GAMA run lots of programs and activity in behind the scene. We have ties with the Toy Association. We help with their lobbying action in Washington. We have a collaboration with the Astra Association, which is the American Toy Retailer Association. And we try to face any concern or issue that our member may face in the running of their daily duties, and try to educate them also to be more performing.
Let's see. There's a lot of good questions here. People talking about Reno. He just said, any other king of planned? I'm sure there's always more stuff, but they can't. What they'll announce. I'll save you on this one. They'll announce it when they announce it.
Yes.
Usually, people always think that they ask me on some live streams, like they're trying to catch us to say something. It usually doesn't happen very often. So that being said, is there? Okay. That's kind of an interesting question. Steam Park, that's a game that you guys have published in the back, and he says he has a hard time, someone who can't roll the dice very quickly because of a physical handicap. Is there a way to mitigate that?
Well, that's a good question. To be honest with you, it's not something we have encountered in the past. I do realize that. Unfortunately, I don't have a good answer for you. Maybe using a cup and a dice tray. Maybe I don't know, depending on the type of handicap. It's not something we have thought of, but we will be happy to look into it and think about something. We can talk with the designer from Horrible Games.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going on. You work with IELLO works with a lot of different publishers, and sometimes they're working with them, and sometimes they're working with others, and that happens a lot, right? One of the publishers you worked with in the past, you worked with a Super Meeple, is it called?
Super Meeple, yeah.
Super Meeple, and you did Mexica, and they've also making other versions. But are you working with them on those? Like
no,
Cusco
unfortunately.
is
So TCAL has some licensing issue in the USA, so we were unable to bring it, and so at the moment there is no plan for continuing the relationship with Super Meeple, and I'm not sure exactly what their plans are for those two games.
Yeah, Cusco is for those wondering, is they're redoing Java. There was 3 of the games. Java now they're calling it Cusco for whatever reason. World of Yoho was a great experimental game using phones. Are there any plans to make more games using phones?
I know, and I know you and Melody. Thank you. Love World of Yoho. This is another one of those collaboration with a studio in France. They really are the one who have the technology for that. It's not something that we have the resource in-house to develop. And as far as I know, they don't have any plan for another product like that. So no, there is nothing in the same vein planned on the IELLO catalog.
And I love World of Yoho, but there's just some logistical things that are difficult. You know, everyone's putting their phone on the table, so those people who are jerks don't know what to do. I like that part, but also phone batteries go pretty quickly, and so there's a lot of just technical things. But it was still a pretty neat idea. And if you have played it and you haven't noticed, they've updated the program. There's a lot of extra stuff in it that there wasn't in there initially.
There have been 2 updates already, with more adventure, more side adventure, a few more twists. So they're still working on it. They're still maintaining it. The game is still at the IELLO catalog, and you can find it in some stores.
Oh, someone just mentioned the bigger Killer Bunny.
Oh, the
Bunny Kingdom board.
Yeah.
So I was talking, and they said there's 2 ways you can pay a penny and shipping, and get the board shipped to you, which I did like the very second I heard it existed. Or they said you could bring the old board in to a convention.
Yes. If you come to see us at any convention where IELLO is present, just bring your existing Bunny Kingdom board, and we'll be happy to trade you for the bigger one.
I'm going to rip my old board up on camera. And then someone's going to get mad. And I'll be like, wait.
You do what you want.
No, think about this. What are we going to do with the little board? I got the bigger board. Nothing. Am I going to give it to some kids with some pennies and say, here, play?
No, there is nothing to do with it. Although, some people still say that when you play with the bigger board, you need some real estate to lay on your card and everything. So now it's becoming a real big game to play. So I know I have one guy in my team. He prefers to play on the small boards, and also he thinks that he's a very synthetic, analytical guy, and I think it's easier for him to calculate the score when the bunnies are closer. So
All right, we're going to take a quick break here because Stephan has to go next door to actually demo one of his games. We're recording over there. So I'll be right back. I will either be alone or with someone else. And maybe he'll stop by again. We'll see. But thanks for coming on and talking to us.
Thanks, Tom.
And get some sleep. All right, folks. There's going to be an empty camera for a few seconds. So fill it up with some questions. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Door shot.
Yes, please. It's already streaming, just so you know. All right, folks. Now we have with us Burky here from. Does anyone like in your family call you Burky, or is that like just
it's
a gaming
pretty
world
much my
thing?
childhood nickname, so all my friends call me Burky. But
Does anyone call you Kevin?
yeah, quite a few people.
Is it
call
when
me
you're in
Kevin.
trouble?
It's Kevin J. Burkhardsmeyer. You get in here right now. No,
Well, you
that was a
used-
long time ago.
Okay, so he has started a new business, which if you can't tell, it's called Game Toppers.
I'm like a walking logo,
I highly
right?
approve of any organization that uses a hat as their logo.
Well, we need to maybe have this hat on you and take a picture for all the audience to see maybe. Sometime.
Maybe we'll see if that happens. But yeah, the Game Toppers. So you brought a couple Game Toppers here to the convention, and you're talking to retailers about getting Game Toppers in their stores.
Correct.
So what made this idea pop in your head?
Well, I have a nice dedicated table, and we all as gamers, we admire these dedicated tables, and so I made a prototype out of wood several years ago, brought it to my daughter's home just for that experience. We enjoyed that. And it didn't have all the nice features that our Game Topper has now with the modular aluminum rail system that we can put cup holders and goblets and dice towers and all the fun stuff that we have now.
What kind?
Oh yeah, you can put goblet holders
Who's
in
using
there.
goblets? The game.
Well, no, yeah, the goblet's the game on your Game Topper. No, people like to drink wine and have stem
Oh, those
glasses
goblets. I'm
and
sorry.
things like that.
You're right.
So we designed this, and being a gamer, I designed this with gamers in mind, so that it would have all. I love tricking out my games. I love blinging out, and it's all about experience. It's all about immersion. So we designed it to have thematic elements with our 3mm stitched premium etched mats. They're gorgeous. There's the adventure mat, the space mat, the castle mat. We have the wood grain mat. I even have a Texas Hold'em mat. So whatever game you're playing, you can immerse yourself in the theme. But that was part of the impetus. And then I thought, okay, how can we bring these to market? Well, making them with wood was difficult because you have extreme craftsmanship costs. You also have the properties of wood performing well in different environments.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You
The
can
weather.
take it down to Florida versus Arizona, it's a big difference. And so you have a lot of issues with that, and tooling to manufacture wood products. And what people don't realize is the cost of making a table, it's not in the legs. The legs are not the cost. It's the actual tabletop. And so
If that's true, then how do you get the prices down so low?
well, that was part of our innovation. How do I do this so I can make a portable solution yet maintain high quality heirloom type of thing? That's where we went with innovative design with our extruded aluminum rail system. It's a military grade aluminum, level 6. It's the highest quality aluminum you can buy that isn't aircraft ready. So it's expensive, but I haven't cut corners. I decided I want this to last. I want this to do what I say. And so we built 60 prototypes that we had at Dice Tower Con last year. We had at Gen Con, we had over 14 quality publishers like IELLO Games, Academy Games, Arcane Wonders, Gray Fox, Mayday Games. I mean, I'm leaving people out that had these toppers in their booth with heavy convention use and just performing brilliantly, staying on these little plastic tables, and all of a sudden turning this plastic table into this awesome experience. People just couldn't believe that, wow, they don't move. These actually work. Wow, this is amazing.
So you ran a Kickstarter for this.
Thank you. Yep.
And how many tables did you have to do for this?
Well, that's one thing you need to do volume to make this thing work, and thankfully we were able to do that. We did about $500,000 on our Kickstarter. We've so far on our pre-order store, which is open right now, we have already done about 250,000 more in sales. So we've.
But about how many tables is that?
About 600 toppers, but that's with accessories. We have amazing accessories. We partnered with Dogmite Games, who make these amazing poker chip trays, component trays that fit in the footprint of our double accessory tray. We have cup holders, goblet holders, double trays, thematic game mats, storage bags, beautiful storage bags with 1/2-inch foam and heavy-duty nylon, double zipper. You can put both halves of your topper right in the bag, take it to game night. Fantastic. And we also, this is a cool feature, because of this aluminum rail system, you can buy one extra rail, and this rail will turn your larger topper to a mini topper. So all of a sudden, the Holmes table, which is 36 by 72 inches, by adding the rail can become a mini topper, 36 by 36. And we put that on our ottoman, and we use it as a server. We'll serve chips and have people over, and then all of a sudden we clean it off, put the mat out, and now we're playing party games on it. And people love that. People ask me, could we make a rail bundle where you get a rail and the appropriate mat? I said, yeah, I can do that. And then they said, well, can't we do it twice? Can't we have both halves of the topper be 2 mini toppers? Yeah, absolutely you can. And so they said, well, do a rail bundle. Yeah, I can do that. Made a rail bundle. People ate it up. I mean, 50-60% of the people bought rail bundles with our toppers. The community has been awesome. It's like I interacted with over 5,000 personal interactions with people.
Is it difficult though? I mean, at some point, you're getting bigger here, right? You mentioned that you're 5,000 and you're still alive. You're interacting.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, is it difficult to then fulfill all these orders? Like, have you finished with sending out all the tables yet?
Great question. We just are starting next week our first wave of fulfillment. And listen, I've been in business, so I have a lot of business acumen and understood this going into this Kickstarter. So I did a lot of groundwork before the Kickstarter, not only making prototypes that did what I said. I wanted to make sure that I could deliver on my promises and hopefully over-deliver on them. Our aluminum manufacturer is in the United States. Our toppers are all built in the United States. The owner of the company in Minnesota that I work with that manufactures, does all the assembly for me, I know him personally. A huge company that does all the displays for Target, Best Buy, these kind of things. I can walk into his office and say, hey Scott, I've got an idea, can we do this? Yeah, let's talk to Lindsay, let's talk to the engineering staff. Boom, all of a sudden we innovated. We made special double component tray that fit over the cleat. We all of a sudden are working on a component tray that fits on the corner for chips, and I have that ability. We have capacity to do over 500 units a month. My fulfillment center is 2 hours from me in St. Cloud, Minnesota, with a regional delivery partner, but we have a pick and pull system in place. We ended up designing with a professional box company. You have one of them here because you're filming on today, but super heavy duty box that will safely deliver the product, but can easily be kitted so that all of your great components can be put in this particular box. Super heavy duty, very expensive, but again, was very concerned that we did justice to the customer, made it as cost effective, affordable as possible, and yet not sacrifice the quality. So we'll be shipping out between 40 and 50 units per day. I'm going to be there overseeing the process here just in a few days. And hopefully within a month or so, we will have the entire orders fulfilled, and then we're going to the next level and looking for European distribution.
Yeah, some people said they were excited about getting the toppers. Someone said you make the best beef jerky, which is true. And I just want you to know that when you brought beef jerky, I've only ever taken a piece. I've never taken the whole bag.
You didn't take the whole bag. Well, you've been listening to Secret Cabal.
All right.
Poor Chris.
Will you be showing these at cons over the coming year?
Great question. Yeah, we are doing a huge con circuit this year. We're going to be at Geekway of the West. We're going to be at BGG Spring, BGG Fall. We'll be at Origins. We're going to be at Dice Tower Con. Yeah, baby.
I hear that that's a good one. Everyone should come.
Well, Dice Tower Con honestly is one of my favorite cons. It's not so much because of the Dice Tower. It's more because of the hot tubs at the resort they pick. But
That's legitimate. I will take second place to hot tubs.
I like the hot tubs. No, it's a great con. It's such a family-friendly environment. I brought my daughter for her graduation present, and this year she might come again. So super fun, great environment, and really well-run con. And then I'm going to be at Gen Con. We're looking into right now going to Essen and possibly the UK Games Expo because we're looking at international partners. So yeah, lots going on. We're scaling to make this product, this brand, a sustainable brand, and continue to innovate, continue to get better.
All right, cool. Well, we're glad you'll see his one of his tabletoppers in use on some of our videos that we'll be posting these next week and stuff, and maybe if we do some live videos in the big game thing tomorrow, you might see that too. We'll see. But either way, it worked, right? It came here, it was delivered, you set it up, took a total of like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a couple minutes. You're playing games.
And then tomorrow when we put it away, it's going to take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a neat thing. So I'm looking forward to see how this changes the industry. Will you wear the Game Toppers hat to MeepleCon? I don't think you're able to go to MeepleCon.
I have to get back to
I tried to
deliver
talk
to backers, so it's I'd love to go, but next year maybe.
Yeah. There's too many conventions. You can't go to all the conventions. That is an amazing hat, though. We have. If he brings the Dice Tower Con, I'll wear it there. All right.
All right, thanks so much, guys.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Now, hang on. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to go see if I can find someone else. Thanks, Burky.
Thank you.
Yeah, if he's, that's the fine. No. Oh. Vroom. All right, folks, it's just me right now. Maybe someone will join me in a bit, but they are working next door, so I'm just going to take questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them, and we'll answer some. Someone says, who's in the hallway? Well, there's not really. This is actually a double-roomed suite. So let me show you real quickly. I can do that. Let me make sure I have this right. Okay, so this is our suite. You can see here's the camera. What? Camera weirdness. All right. Anyway, this is the view outside, which is unbelievably cool. We really wanted to use that view for the background, but you wouldn't see us. But the mountains back there, oh, it's just gorgeous. Anyway, so this is the room that we're staying in. A couple of us staying there, and then if you see back there by the door, that's where there's a connection to another suite there, and in that suite they're doing their recording. Hey, you know what? I'll sneak us in there real quick. Okay, but we gotta be quiet.
Right now we are playing with those tokens.
Yes.
But the final product was very cute little plastic flowers that
that's
we
cool.
can stack together.
Very cool.
So, we call it Cherry Tree. Is a set collecting game, and the goal of the game is to collect those cherry flowers.
Okay, so hopefully that was kind of cool to see. I'm back. All right. Let's see if any questions have popped up in the meantime. Let's see here. Best Star Wars droid, BB-8. Weights and wagers at MeepleCon? Yeah, we're gonna do it twice there actually. Reno or Vegas for GAMA? Right now, Reno's winning for sure. Is that where you're sleeping, or did you guys suite just for the studio? We got it for the studio, but I'm also sleeping here. Tom, I know you're quick with playing escape room games, so why haven't you reviewed the new escape room game, the VR expansion? Because I don't have it. Are you driving between Reno and Vegas? No, we flew. We flew. Let's see here. I can tell you the Reno hotel is newer and nicer than the Vegas one. Oh, by a mile. Oh my goodness, it's so much nicer. Let's see here. I think that light is kind of funky there in the background. Let's move it a little bit like this. There we go. How many hats did you pack? I packed 4 hats. Let's see. Do you do full playthroughs of games or just quick demos or a round? Oh, you mean here? I played half of a game and I did another demo of a game today. That's it. I'm hoping to play maybe a game tonight and maybe some games tomorrow night. MeepleCon's where my gaming is going to happen at the end of this week. Do you think reviewing games early can be an issue? When you reviewed Outlive, I was excited about it, but so much time has passed before it was released, I forgot about it. That's kind of hard. You know, it's hard to figure out the best time to review it. So we just do what we can. That by the time Outlive comes out, you can be like, is there a Dice Tower review? Yes, there is. I think I'd rather review them too early than too late. What's your favorite thing you've seen so far? I think you mean of board games. I don't know. I would like to go. You ask me that question tomorrow after I go down in the exhibit hall after it's open. That chair seems unnecessarily tall. I'm not sure what chair we're talking about. That one. You're right. That chair is tall. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's that tall. Okay. Anyway. I'm not here to debate whether Reno is a better city than Las Vegas. I don't know. I'm just saying the GAMA convention at Reno is better than the GAMA convention at Vegas. That's fine. I also know that Vegas is not just the Strip, and that's pretty much what I've been at the Strip at Vegas, and then I've also been the Pinball Hall of Fame, and I've been at the MeepleCon. That's all my experience. Does GAMA make you excited where the industry is going, or is it just more the same every year? I'm always excited about the industry. Nothing here has got me like on fire. It's interesting. I'm watching all the different people, all the moving parts, all the folks talking to each other. I'm curious where we'll be in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. Are you doing a Kickstarter playthrough of Fireball Island? You'll have to wait and see, won't you? What non-Dice Tower Essentials game has been your favorite at the convention so far? Again, I haven't played. I've only played half a game here, so I can't really give a good answer to that. One of the games I did play was a Dice Tower Essentials preview of a game that I'm really excited about. How far in advance do you record daily unboxings? Usually like maybe 2 weeks. I don't want to record them too early because I think it's weird if we do the daily unboxing after the review. It's going to happen at some point. We're going to mess it up, right? But I want you to see the unboxing first before the review, which will happen most of the time. So I don't want to do them too early. We have all our boxes for daily unboxings in a room, and I sticker them all with a little sticker on top of the shrink wrap for what month they came in at. So we're going to make sure we unbox them in time so that there's not games that are just sitting there forever. What's your verdict of In-N-Out burgers? It's very overrated. I'm sure it's a fine burger place, but it was made to me like it was this amazing burger place, and it was. I could do a top 10 of burger places better than In-N-Out. Sorry. Are people worried about the future of the friendly local game store there? I haven't heard anyone. I haven't heard like be moaning and wailing of this. People seem here very positive. Will you have time to attend many of the panels, workshops? No, I don't plan on attending any of them actually, because they're mostly just business. They're mostly just talking to stores, and so instead I'm going to be going around and talking to just the publishers and things, just getting this stuff face to face. And we're having the publishers come and we're recording this stuff, so that's better than the panels. Do you remember a game from last year's GAMA show that still stands out for you, or does it all blur? I would have to go back and look at what games were shown to us first time at GAMA last year. I do remember playing Fantasy Realms, I think maybe, that's not the name of it, but the fantasy game from Z-Man. I remember playing that last year. Not Z-Man, I'm sorry, WizKids. I played that last year at GAMA. I remember really enjoying that. Are you doing any videos from MeepleCon? I might do some from my room there if I get a decent internet speed. I don't think we'll do any there. And when I'm at MeepleCon, I want to spend time with the folks who are at MeepleCon. I want to spend time talking to them, having a good time there. Are you going to play that game prototype that Rory and Michael were talking about? If I can pull it off, I might try to play that because it really does sound super interesting. Have you tried Whataburger? Oh, I love Whataburger. Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. Are there designers at GAMA, or is it just for publishers and retailers? Oh, there's designers. In fact, tonight is a... I ran into Daryl Lauder, who's here running an Unpub event, and there's like a speed dating style thing that's going on tonight. So there's definitely designers here. After hearing about Thunderstone, Mystic Vale, Gloomhaven, and TI4, is there a trend even slightly towards large boxes? Yeah, you're right. For a while, there wasn't many large boxes in the industry, and now suddenly large boxes are back. Fantasy Flight did that for a while. Where they had these, those coffin-sized boxes, and now everyone is like back to these big boxes. I think it's just they're just trying to fit everything in these boxes. I don't think they'll sell really well in stores. The really giant boxes, they're harder for a store to move.
Yeah, and they're usually expensive product too, so it's a challenge too much.
But interestingly enough, people always say, why are card games in boxes bigger than they need to be? But there's a couple reasons, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. One is shelf space.
Yes.
In a little game, you won't notice it doesn't take up much shelf space. But the other reason is shoplifting. The real little card games are real easy for people to steal.
That's true, but I think your first statement is the correct one. I mean, when you put a card game on the shelf, you want to have some real estate, and having a bigger box is allowing you to tell a bigger story about what the game is about instead of having a little timestamp thing.
Question that people have been asking: In-N-Out Burger. Good, bad, overrated, underrated?
I'm from California, so awesome.
So to clarify, I was saying that I think it's the most overrated thing I've been to.
You think?
I didn't think it was bad. It was a fine burger.
Okay.
But people made it sound like it was the best burger ever made in the history, and I can list you many places better.
So I agree with you. They are actually, as a Santa Barbara resident, we have a chain called The Habit that is from Santa Barbara. They have a few stores around California. And think about In-N-Out one notch over it. It's pretty good. But I think I love In-N-Out. When I travel and I get to see one, I usually stop by. I think their hamburgers are pretty fresh, and I love their fries too.
So let me say something good about Stephan briefly, because I don't always. But
okay.
We've been friends ever since he came to America, and mostly just because
a long time ago.
He didn't know many people back then. Now it's too late. But this summer, you live in California, and there was the big fires there.
Yeah.
And you saw them. And he put on Facebook a standing offer, and he said, if you need me to come and drive you and get you out, I will. Did anyone take you up on that?
I helped one of my friends actually call me because his parents were evacuating, and they were really distressed, and so they are older, and I met them at their house. I helped them load their car, and I told them that I will come and check on their house, and so my friend was 300 miles east, and he was very happy that someone he trusts could help his parents. Nobody else took me on, but as a side thing, I have a weird hobby. I drive for Uber at night because I love driving, and so I drove all the nights where the firefighter were working. I drove, and when firefighters were getting in my car, I forgot to turn on my mirror.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and I just noticed that you were doing that on Facebook, and so that's cool. Let's see. People know. Is there any information that you can give us about Heroes of the Black Reach?
Heroes of the Black Reach. So we are late. Unfortunately, we are delayed. Our friends from the Ville Pigs have made some production challenge with the Chinese factory. we are still on track to release the game. It's coming out. We are doing an elite release with the retailer who have signed up for pre-release on the game. So if your local game store have signed up for the pre-release, they will still get the product ahead of the official launch. And unfortunately, I wish I would have filmed that to announce, but I just spoke to Devil Pig yesterday, and they told me we wish we had a date. So it's currently going in print. I'm very impatient. I know Sam from the team.
Yeah, I don't care. Sam is the one
champ,
super.
yeah. But it's coming. It's coming. So thanks for your patience.
Someone asks, is Yellow planning more small box games like Shot and Totten and Welcome to the Dungeon?
Oh, yes. That line is very popular for us.
Might we ever see a Welcome to the Dungeon 3?
That's a good question. So far I haven't seen it on the planning, but both Welcome and Welcome Back to the Dungeon are doing very well. So it's not impossible.
Yeah, I just, this is an anathema, I guess, but I just threw my Welcome to the Dungeon box away. Because I'm taking a lot of card games and putting them in these photo cases, and I have a carrier with all these. And so Welcome Dungeon and Welcome Back are in my games I take everywhere. Okay. So I was like, box, throw it away. All right, I'll throw the box away. And some people would have a heart. But I'm not going to keep an empty box sitting around.
Sure. That makes
but
sense.
That box is possibly my favorite size for a card game box. It's small, it's really sturdy. You can stand on those almost.
Yeah, they are very strong. It's easy to carry in your luggage or anything. Yeah. Those are doing well.
One thing is someone just said they like Nyet, but they didn't hear a lot about that. I'm curious what you think about this because I've always thought, are trick-taking games hard to sell?
Specifically in America, trick-taking games are not selling very well. There is a huge crowd. Your own Z is a big fan of those type of games. In France, they are very popular. For example, our Dwarf King and our game Nyet sales comparatively to the size of the country compared to the USA, the sales of those games are so enormous, and in the States they are selling, but nowhere near at the rate we are selling them in France, and I can't understand why it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in America, I think trick-taking games is associated maybe with older people because of hearts and spades and things like that. Most young people don't sit around playing trick-taking games these days. They're playing. They grew up with Magic.
Yeah, that's true.
So, let's see.
Somebody's telling me I need to speak louder. Sorry, I will try to speak louder.
Any additional content for Arena for the Gods?
Not at the moment. We are still watching to see how the first print run is gonna move, and if the numbers are where we want them, we might work on an expansion. It's definitely a project that is appropriate to work on expansion.
And someone asked about Diamant, so we should explain with Yellow and Diamant. Diamant is only controlled by the European Yellow, right?
Well, so Diamond, it's an American game. We got the license only for Europe, and so we made an English version for our English-speaking European countries, but we don't have the right for the USA. So unfortunately, I cannot bring that game to the market in here.
Right, and things might change in the future. We'll see. But for now, if you want it, you're gonna have to go hunt it down from overseas.
Yeah.
But it is a very nice version of the game.
Thank you.
It's essentially the same. If you're wondering what that game is, it's essentially the same game as Ink and Gold. There's maybe some minor things, but it's basically played the same way. Well, either way, we're gonna shut this down soon because it's getting close to dinner time here.
There you go.
And I'm hungry because
yes.
I went low on lunch because I'm prepping for dinner tonight.
You were saving some place for tonight. Excellent.
Well, someone's taking me to the seafood place here, and I heard that's a good restaurant.
It's Oceano. It's almost Oceanos. We have a game that's called almost the same thing.
These guys are always like putting their games and pushing them. And
no.
Yeah, you're a saint compared to our friend Mr. Bonacor, of course. Oceanos is a really cool game. I was just looking at that's the designer is Antoine Bauza, and that's one of the few games that he's done that's not like from Japan.
Yes.
Most of his games are Japanese or Chinese culture.
Maybe it's an aquarium in Japan.
Maybe. Well, thanks for coming on. I want to say once again that this is easily the best game I've been to. For the first time moving to a new location. I'm sure there's hang-ups. Those always happen, but I'm not seeing them. Right.
That's what we try.
Right, and so there's a lot of good things, and the scuttlebutt's very good. So we'll see. Folks, this is the end of my streaming for today. We'll probably be back tomorrow with a little bit more streaming. I'll grab some people and do them throughout the day. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Stephan.
And you've been watching the Dice Tower live from GAMA 2018.